Happy New Year, everyone. Happy 2022. It's your boy JB on the West Coast.
And it's your boy Big Babs on the East Coast. What's happening, brother?
Welcome to Two Brothers in the Huddle. Everything is good to start the new year. So far, so good. I think the first order of business on today's show is what the hell happened in Buffalo?
It was cold out there, man. We couldn't handle that. We're a southern team. We was out there in the snow blizzard. I mean, it just looked like we didn't want to be there at times. But man, we started the game off pretty fast. Went 3 and out on offense, which is fine. Going to a hostile environment. But special teams got a big play. We had our gunner go down there and hit the ball right out the returner's hand. We scrambled forward in the end zone, but ended up with a safety. We'll take those 2 points to start the game off. Not bad.
2 points.
But after that, after going 3 and out again, man, Buffalo just had their way. Went down to score twice with Josh Allen running in the end zone twice. Looks like the same play twice that they scored upon. But somehow, some way, we go into halftime 15-14. Cool. We made it out the first half winning it. All right, let's build upon it. Let's come out second half, start fast. None of that happened. None of that happened. We had some opportunities. The unicorn produced, but it seemed like he was hurt a little bit. Looked like he had a sprained ankle or something like that. But yep, we came up short. And the show did miss our chance to try to get that final spot in the NFC wild card spot. But man, we had some good things that happened this year. We had some good things that happened this year.
You and I both know damn well that they weren't going to make the playoffs. They weren't going to make the playoffs. They was never going to make the playoffs.
Nah. We had a chance, baby. We definitely had a chance. Hell, if Seattle had a chance, we definitely had a chance. But, yep, we came up short. It was the cold weather. That's what I'm going to say it was.
Well, I'm going to say different. I'm looking at the stat sheet right now. And
okay, run it.
It looks like this. Buffalo went 7 of 12 on third down, 4 of 5 in the red zone. Atlanta 1 of 7 on third down, 1 of 4 in the red zone. Now, and Josh Allen had 3 picks. Damn, 3 picks.
3 picks. Man, we had an opportunity to close the gap on the game. Matt Ryan went in for a touchdown. Sideline judge throw unsportsmanlike conduct because he turns and looked at the DB like, "What's up, fool?" And he throws a flag. Man, come on, man.
The taunting penalty.
It's too sensitive, man. The league has gotten too sensitive. All he did was turn his head and mean mugged him like this, and the guy threw a flag. So guess what? That ref must have liked some dang on Bills. That's what happened.
Yeah, he's on the Bills wagon, huh? He was circling the Bills wagon.
It was a great drive, though, honestly. And Matt scrambled on 4th down and came up a little short. We thought he was in, but his knee touched the ground. Of course, we need to kind of change the rule as far as the quarterback and where he's down at, as far as when he can, he's really not giving up his body if he's diving forward. We said once he give up his body, he's sliding on his butt or something like that. But it's too many rules. It's too many rules. Whether you diving head first or whether you're sliding on your butt, it's too many rules.
Well, we'll send that over to the rules committee for them to examine that during the offseason. I'll tell them that Monster sent in the quarterback slide rules. Y'all need to evaluate.
Please.
If
they go head first, they're live. If they slide on their butt, the play is over. It's just too many rules. Whether they slide or dive, the play is over. So we don't know which one to go off of. Now, if a defender come in, which he did hit him, on the top of his shoulder, after he got in the end zone. That's why Matt got up and gave him that look. You know what I mean? But
like, don't touch me. That's the don't touch me look.
It's too many rules. Too many rules for me.
That one and obviously the taunting penalty probably will be evaluated this offseason and probably more as teams tend to submit their disputes with NFL officiating. Well, I can tell you what happened in Seattle. Boom. The best offensive performance of the year. Look, the first drive, the Seahawks go 3 and out. And that was it from Michael Dixon. He didn't punt the ball anymore. I was in the press box. I saw him on the sideline eating sunflower seeds, just hanging out. I saw him playing tic-tac-toe with the other specialists and the long snapper. And he had a boring day. But not like it's been most of the season. I think he probably leads the league in punts. Look, Russell Wilson and Rashad Penny, put together a nice offensive performance. The offense had rhythm. DK, 3 touchdowns. Rashad Penny, another career best performance, 170 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Seattle puts up 51 points against a 2-win Detroit Lions football team in front of their home finale for the 2021 season. This is what I said after the game too, Monster. You know what I said? This is the last time that Seahawks fans will see Russell Wilson in a Seahawks uniform at Lumen Field. They said I was crazy. Crazy. But the Seahawks win against the 2-win Lions by putting up 51 points.
That's impressive. Y'all put up 51 points against the Lions. Wow.
Yeah.
It took y'all playing against the Lions to actually come out and have a great game like y'all did. Just so happened that it's the second to the last season of the game.
Well, yeah, the second week 17. Second to the last game.
Second to the last game of the season.
Look, and here's what I'm gonna say. You ready for this?
Go for
The
it.
Seahawks and the Falcons will end the season with a 7-10 record. And I want my damn shoes, man.
Dude, you gotta beat us.
No.
The record.
It's a tie.
No, a tie. A tie. We talking about a tie here, not a win. Not a win. The Seahawks cannot beat the Falcons' record. They can tie it, but they can't beat it.
They're gonna tie it.
So what you talking about some shoes for then?
Well, because they're gonna tie it.
Yeah, okay. Well, you don't get no shoes from tying. You could tie your shoes, but you ain't getting no shoes from a tying record.
You can tie your shoes, but you ain't getting no shoes from a tying record.
Well, Rashad Penny won't be in the Seahawks uniform either.
Yeah, I think that's I don't know. I think so. I think they find a way to get it done. I think that he's created the conversation for them to consider that. Earlier in the offseason, they decided they weren't going to.
So as a player,
the 5th-year option, they didn't want that 5th-year option.
Though? How do you think Rashad felt going into the season?
Can you blame him? Can you blame the Seahawks for not wanting to keep that, to pursue that 5th-year option? No.
Well,
you can't. I mean, he's been unavailable.
My job here in Seattle was done. It was already done.
Right.
I had to prove myself to you this year, which
Yeah.
I've been doing the last 4 years. But anyway, it seems like you don't want me in the front office. So guess what? You know what? I'm going to do my job. I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. There's other teams out there that's willing to look at me and like my talent and use my talent, and I feel welcome. I'm gone.
Here's what I would say. If I'm Rashad Pitt, I'm exploring other options as well. And this is a value deal. Where can I get the most value right now? And I don't know if it's in Seattle. I think that he has a chance in Seattle. He's created some type of synergy with the organization. Look, he's a first-round draft pick, but the last 4 weeks, he's had to prove exactly what he's been doing. And I think he just extended his career. If he wasn't performing like this over the last 4 weeks, or if he was still hurt, I think he'd be really talking about, I'm going to sign wherever I can.
Yeah,
But now he
deal.
got it. But now he got, now he has some options. So that's good. What else happened in week 17, Monster, that caught your eye? A lot of teams clinched playoff berths. A lot of teams clinched the division. The Packers clinched home field advantage. The Cardinals go into D-Town and smack the Cowboys.
That was a game right there. I think the Cardinals went into that atmosphere with their backs against the wall. And guess what? We got to do any and everything that we can in order to get a W and get up out of here. I think what they got their momentum from was when they ran the fake punt. The fake punt, and then they converted. The dude caught an amazing catch with the help of the defender on his helmet to his hip, then flipped back over and still hold on to the ball. Man, that is something to see. That gave them all the momentum that they need to propel going forward in that game, which basically they killed the Dallas Cowboys until the end of the game. Dallas kind of made a run back at the end, but man, for the most part, the Cardinals showed up. They got a few players that's down, backs against the wall. They don't even know if they're gonna make the playoffs now because they've been on a 3-game losing streak. But now they go into a playoff atmosphere in Dallas against a good team. Dallas is a good team, and they came out with a W.
You know what caught my eye staying in that division? The Philadelphia Eagles now on a 4-game winning streak, winning, 7 out of their last 8. 6 out of their last 7, excuse me. Finishing up against the Cowboys, the NFC East, and the Philadelphia Eagles. Philly fans are laughing at the NFL as NFL fans who counted them out a long time ago, but a 4-game winning streak to finish the season, at least moving into week 18. They could be a hot team headed into the playoffs, and somehow, some way, they figured it out. I told you a few weeks ago, Monster, in the AFC, I told you a few weeks ago that the winner of the Bengals and the Ravens game would be the winner of that division. Those little young ballers in Cincinnati are doing something special. What you see in Cincinnati now that they're on a 3-game win streak, even though they were saved on 2 4th-down calls, they still beat the Kansas City Chiefs.
I got to talk to Coach about those calls. I just got to. I mean, I understand the aggressiveness part of it, but man, you got saved twice. You got saved twice on 4th down and inches. You got saved twice when all you could have did was just kick the field goal. But I get it. Andy Reid is across the field. I get it. Mahomes is across the field. I get it. It's a lot of weapons over there that they can go down and score real fast or get in position to kick a field goal to try to, win the game at the end. But I get it. Hey, it's a gutsy call. Man, that was damn near a playoff game right there. You ask me.
It sure was. And they damn near lost their
Jamar
quarterback
Chase
doing something silly.
Jamar Chase don't win Rookie of the Year. Something wrong. I think he changed the culture around Cincinnati along with Joe Burrow, coming back after, a crazy ending of a rookie year last year to bounce back like he did this year. He's having an outstanding year, but man, he has the weapons around him to help him compete. And the atmosphere in Cincinnati is just off the chain right now.
Yeah, it is. Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow, 2 young studs. Chase is over 1,400 yards, and certainly he'll finish the season with over 1,500 yards. 2 200-yard games. But you mentioned Mac Jones, and, most times when you got a rookie quarterback who comes in and performs the way he did, leading his team to the playoffs, that those votes tend to go toward the quarterback. But you think it's Jamar Chase who wins Rookie of the Year?
I believe so. I mean, he's right behind Cooper Kupp, as far as yards, and Cooper's right in the mix of being maybe MVP or Offensive Player of the Year. So we'll see, man. It's crazy who come up with the voting. I don't know if it's fans or if it's a mix of coaches, players, etc. But man, you got to give it to the guys that played their butts off, that made the most impact on their team. And you cannot say the Cincinnati Bengals make the playoffs without Jamar Chase.
13 touchdowns by Chase, and he's definitely top 5 in a lot of receiving categories. And you mentioned Mac Jones, who he got him to a 10-6 record right now. And let's see, 21 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. It's definitely, who else? I mean, those two to me are, definitely probably close 1A, 1B. But who else has really showed out to me is Najee. I mean, like he's
been having a great year as well. That's for sure.
He's definitely, in the conversation. I'm not sure where he falls in, considering, that the Steelers aren't in the playoffs yet. They have a chance, but they're not in the playoffs. 7 touchdowns, nearly 1,200 yards rushing. The guy does not fumble the football, and he's been probably just as big of an impact player to this, I would say, bruised and limited offensive weapons in the Pittsburgh Steelers. But Najee Harris, I think, too, is definitely honorable mention, although I don't think his performance is better than what Jamar Chase and Mac Jones were able to do this year as well. All right. Well, you mentioned it, the call in D-Town and the game against the Arizona Cardinals and the Cowboys. It's time for our damn. Did you see that moment of week 17? Monster, take it away. Oh, here it is. The fake punt. The direct snap to the personal protector. And I mean, this is a passing. This is an and one, Monster.
It went either way. Pass interference or catching the ball. Which one you want?
That's a great play by Ward. Somehow, some way, you mentioned it. We look, and too. Look, I've been the personal protector, and I've been a part of some fake punts. When you get a fake punt, you better execute, man. You better make it work. I mean, this is good awareness by the defender, but an even better catch by the wing.
Good awareness by the defender. What? That's pass interference.
Well, it's pass interference, but normally you see the wingman running wide open down the field. I'm saying awareness in terms of at least recognizing that it was a fake punt. It's pass interference. I get it.
He didn't know it was a fake punt until dude went up and showed his hand. He's like, oh, fake punt.
He knew, man. He knew.
Nah. No,
man, he knew. I think he knew. I'm gonna give him the benefit of a doubt, man. That's DB awareness. He
didn't know until that ball was against the side of his head like that.
Well, that's DB awareness.
He still got his hands up. He's like, dang, they threw the ball.
The Arizona Cardinals pulling out all the stunts and all the stops to try to get the win. They're trying to break that 3-game losing streak, go into D-Town, Jerry's world, and come out with a victory. And it was one of these type of plays that got it done. That's my damn. Did you see that moment of week 17, Monster? What are you at?
Man, that play almost reminded me of the play in the Super Bowl when he caught that ball against his helmet. I don't know. I think this one might overshadow that one. I mean, he used the helmet, he used the shoulder pad and the hip.
Well, the stage of the Super Bowl, I think that was the David Tyree catch you're referring to. The stage of the Super Bowl makes that a more memorable catch. No one will ever remember this. This is a Week 17 regular season matchup.
But that play is going to stick out against Dallas for the next few weeks. I guarantee that.
Dallas
All right,
good,
here
man.
we go from last night. Steelers versus the Browns. Damn, did you see T.J. Watt? Yeah, I said it in the beginning of the season. I said it's either going to be Chandler Jones or T.J. Watt that's going to win Defensive Player of the Year. Well, here it is. T.J. Watt ended up handing the Browns 4 sacks last night. 4. Not 1, not 2, not 3.
Look, Baker Mayfield jacking the ball, man. Come on, throw the ball. Like the I don't know about Baker Mayfield. Look, wide open, boom, right over there, wide open, boom. Like, get rid of the ball, man. Like, these are dumb sacks to me. You know, look, TJ Watt's a beast, but Baker Mayfield is, you know, he's in a slump or not. He's less than average quarterback the way he's performing. Look, here's the best thing about Baker Mayfield. He makes good commercials. Yeah, those commercials are about the best thing happening for Mayfield. TJ Watt's a beast, no doubt. But he just gave him Defensive Player of the Year, man. 4 sacks? Hell no, man. Defensive Player of the Year is the boy in D-Town, Trevon Diggs.
No, sir.
Just tied the single season record for their franchise in interceptions, breaking one that stood for nearly 40 years. Since 1981, come on, man.
Good for him because he give up a lot of yards. So good for him. They're gonna try him all day long anyway. That's why he got 11 picks because they try him all day long. T.J. Watt, 19 sacks last year, came up short. Second place voting in Defensive Player of the Year. This year, he's 1 sack away from tying the all-time sack leader, sack record, Michael Strahan. Man, the guy should have had 5. If you watch the game at the end, that tackle pulled his arm and held him. He was like, "You ain't getting it on me, buddy.
No, hell no.
You ain't getting it on me."
It ain't happening today.
Damn near could have had 5 sacks last night. Come on. How many picks have Diggs had in one game? Most.
The most I'd say probably 2, but I don't think he even had 2 in one game. But this is completely different. You can't look at interceptions and sacks like it's rare to have a 2 interception game. It's easier to have a 2 sack game.
It's rare to have 2 sacks in the game. He got 4. He got 4 and almost had 5. He's sitting at 21.5 sacks on the season. Now, people are going to say, yeah, he's going to break the record because he got an extra game. But, hey, records are meant to be broken. That's why
they should all break the record. All those records are going to be broken.
Oh, easy. They all should do it. 18 games now, all the records that's in the books right now are up for grab.
Yeah.
They're up for grab. But that's my damn, did you see that moment? TJ Watt, man, my hat's out to you, kid. You bust your tail every game. You go out there and play. I would have loved to have you as a teammate. You know, that energy that you bring to the field is like no other. I think you're better than your brother. So, man, hats out to you. Hopefully you'll pull out this Defensive Player of the Year, maybe MVP. Who knows? Let's see how this happens. Let's see how this plays out.
No, well, you're stretching right there with MVP. And look, I also think that just because he didn't get it last year, they're going to give it to him this year. And Trevon Diggs out there doing something that hadn't been done in 40 years. 40 years.
How long Strahan been retired?
You know, felt like he was just playing last year. You know, Strahan looked so good. This dude Strahan could go out there and give you 3 sacks today.
Yeah. Okay.
You ain't believing
but
that.
He had 19 last year. He's at 21.5 this year. What did Diggs do last year?
It doesn't matter.
This is consistently. This is not by default or by accident. This kid works his butt off, man. The kid works his butt off. He's well deserving of the award. Man, it's
Well,
politics. We all know it's politics. But let's see
and
if the
you're
politics
really
give
fighting
him.
for the D line right now. The big
Let's
fellas
see if the
fighting for the D
politics will
line.
give him the award that he deserves this year. He deserves
Yeah.
it.
No, I'm telling you, that's rare to have DBs go
Ah,
out there
there
and
you
get
go. You're a
11
DB.
interceptions, man.
You're a
DBs,
DB.
man, come on.
Okay, you're a DB.
That's hard. That's easy to do to
You
get
want
a sack.
to put something on this?
I could go get a sack, monster. I go get a sack today. A sack of potatoes.
Let's see how easy that is for you. When
Yeah,
that lineman come and jab you in the head like this, you're gonna be like, hey, coach, don't run that blitz no more. Don't run that. Hey, he's gonna be on the side like, hey, man, that dude almost took my head off. Man, you gotta watch that on film.
Yeah, no worries. Look, I got another honorable mention. Damn, to just see that moment. It happened in Washington after the football game. You know, Jalen Hurts headed to the locker room.
Oh,
Damn! Did you see that? Look,
Hey,
now
they
look,
get
you
up,
got
hey,
conflicting stories.
dude.
Hey,
Look,
man.
they get up like, dude, he's right here. It's Jalen Hurts. You're the man, dude. Let's take a selfie.
Look. Where the hell is stadium officials?
They right
Get
there,
these
but
damn fans off of me, man.
They as shocked as the damn dudes that hit the ground.
I mean, look,
Like,
what happened after that?
did
What do
that
you
just
think?
happen?
Look, what you think happened after that? All of them jokers who fell, they want to sue the damn stadium now for they got concussion symptoms and lacerations across the shoulder. But look, they all seem to be okay to me. A good game,
Hey,
man.
the NFL is real big in the safety of players and also the fans that are in the stadium. It's too many times where there's accidents around the stadium. Some you see, some you don't. But you know, we ultimately seen that one yesterday as far as these fans that almost could have ended this kid career. You know, just imagine if he was walking underneath them or giving them high fives right there.
Yeah,
All of them fall on him, man. Head trauma, knee, anything could have
leg,
happened.
all that. It's been all out.
You know,
All out.
that is bad. That is bad. So hopefully they can resolve this problem. Hopefully it doesn't happen anywhere else in the NFL for something like this to almost take out a player. And we talk about player safety all the time on the field. And we got to talk about player safety off the field or even walking into the locker room.
Insane. That's my damn to just see that moment. But Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles headed to the postseason, man. Headed to the postseason. Speaking of the postseason, well, there are a few more spots, both in the NFC and the AFC up for grabs. We'll start with the NFC. You got the 49ers, who play the LA Rams this week, and you got the Saints. You know who they got, the Dirty Birds. Who gets that last spot?
That's going to be up for grabs. Right now, San Fran is in that spot. If both teams lose, San Fran take that spot, correctly?
That's it.
Well, that's how I see it playing out. I see both teams losing this weekend.
I see exactly the opposite. Well, kind of opposite. I see the 49ers beating the Rams, and I see the Falcons losing and tying the Seahawks with a 7-10 record because the Seahawks are going to beat the Cardinals for the last game of the season. My take of the NFC, and the 49ers gets the last spot. What about the AFC? Big different type of scenario
it's
here.
all over in the AFC. I mean, you got so many scenarios out there that can be played out. You got the Colts. The Colts, all they have to do is win. They're going down to Jacksonville. They need to finish the season strong heading into the playoffs. I think they're a good team. I think they came up short against the Raiders at home, which they shouldn't have lost. But, you know, on to the next one. They still have a chance. They're still in the door of getting in the playoffs. All they have to do is beat The Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, well, hey, that's why they play the game. And then the Colts win. They're in. The Chargers are the number 7 seed right now. If they win and things remain the same, then they play a Tennessee team and they get in. But the Raiders, the Steelers, and the Ravens all have a shot. Raiders probably least likely to get in. The Steelers need a lot of help. But if the Raiders beat the Chargers, then they're in. Who gets that last spot? You got the Colts, and then is it the Raiders or is it the Chargers?
No, who's home?
They are playing at.
It really doesn't matter.
It don't matter.
It
It doesn't
really
matter. Doesn't matter.
I like the way the Raiders went into Indianapolis.
They playing in Vegas Sunday night.
They went into Indianapolis and got a win that they desperately needed in order to keep their playoff hopes alive. That says a lot.
They on a 3-game win streak.
About the team. I'm looking forward to this matchup. Man, it's been a great matchup between the Chargers and the Raiders over the last few years. But hopefully, Derek Carr can sneak into the playoffs. Finally, sneak into the playoffs, get back into that mode of being in the playoffs and going for it. They might be the team that just end up going on a winning streak and end up, being in the AFC Championship. Who knows? But I guarantee.
Who knows?
I guarantee the winner of this game, the Chargers and the Raiders, is going to be that wild card team that goes on the run.
That shocks the AFC. Well, I'll tell you what, considering all the things that happened in Vegas with their organization, to get into the playoffs would just be a year to celebrate that accomplishment of what those guys in the locker room have been through, have experienced, and what they've accomplished. And, well, we'll see. Sunday night in Vegas, you got the Chargers coming into town for that final wild card spot. Well, let's look ahead to week 18. First time we've said this in history of the NFL, a regular season game in week 18. So let's take a look around the horn. Certainly those are the matchups because they have playoff implications. Are there any other teams or games that you'll be tuned into, Monster, that you want to see a team maybe going into the playoffs, have some momentum? What games are you watching in week 18?
Well, I like the Tennessee Titans, your team. I think they played well against a Miami Dolphins team that's been on the run for the last 7 weeks. And Miami went to Nashville and got their head whooped.
Yeah, they went and got some Nashville hot chicken. That's what they call Nashville hot chicken, Monster.
They ain't get a spanking. They got their hand whooped.
They got their ass whooped.
I thought Miami would have put on a better show than they did, but Tennessee showed me a lot of resilience. They showed me that it doesn't matter who we're playing right now because we got that vibe. We're on the road. We're on a mission. Mindset is to beat all and defeat all. So I'm liking how these Tennessee Titans have ended the season, being that there's been a lot of players that's been out of the lineup over the last few weeks. And to see them do what they've been doing, it's been amazing to watch. So I'm just going to sit back and enjoy the game on Sunday.
Tell you what, meet me down in Nashville for the AFC Championship game because this team getting home field advantage.
Home field advantage?
They getting it.
Okay.
And they get that first week bye. They could get their runner back in D. Henry. We'll see. But they finished the season. They finished the season with
Henry coming back in the playoffs.
Yeah. Last game down in H-Town against the Texans. I think they take care of business down in H-Town and get home field advantage. Tell you what, you just meet me down in Nashville and we go get some hot chicken our damn self.
Ain't nothing but a 4-hour ride for me, baby.
All right. Nothing but a plane can't get me down there too. What other matchup you got? You got the Chiefs and the Broncos, the Cowboys and the Eagles, the Packers, who have home field advantage already in the NFC, playing the Detroit Lions. Aaron Rodgers says that he wants to play. And then the Patriots finish against the Dolphins.
Should Aaron Rodgers play in the last game of the season?
He should probably play a series or two. But if you want to just rest his foot, use the extra week for treatment, that wouldn't be a surprise to do so as well. But he says he wants to play. And certainly, having 2 weeks off. I mean, it's Aaron Rodgers, I get it, but still 2 weeks off before their next game. He probably wants to go throw the ball a little bit and continue to break Brett Favre's record. Every touchdown that he throws now is a new record. So, Aaron Rodgers, to me, I think he plays.
There was some unprecedented things that happened in Week 17. I think that we should talk about. First, the passing of John Madden and what he meant to the game, what he meant to you, what he meant to me, what he meant to all of us. John Madden changed the culture of the Raiders, ultimately winning the Super Bowl with the Raiders. But more importantly, when he went into the broadcasting booth and his dynamics and his charisma, his personality was almost like, it kind of like blew the NFL up. Why? Because we all couldn't wait to hear John Madden talk about the game. As a kid growing up, you like, boom, you knew it was coming on a crazy hit or just anything. He knew he had the ad-libs to go with anything that happened in the game. And I think that propelled the NFL as far as broadcasting side. I mean, it just took off. It just took off. Just to watch John Madden as a kid, man, it was like, I love to watch this guy call a game. Not only that, to have a game played after him, a video game, man, that was something. Like, I'm ready. I'm next on Madden. Because you know why? Madden gives you all the tricks. It gives you all the ad-libs. It gives you everything that you need to enjoy the game of football.
Madden was definitely an educator when it came to teaching football and at any level, from young to old. Obviously, you and I weren't old enough to remember him as a coach, but
right.
You listen to some of the greats now and watching the John Madden documentary during the Christmas holidays. Bill Belichick was on. It's like it was always the Raiders in the AFC Championship game. It's like that was kind of the expectation of performing or playing or coaching under an Al Davis type of ball club, and John Madden never had a losing season. So number one, that was phenomenal. I think his first year in the broadcast booth, I still was before me, but it was like 1980, 1979, somewhere in there. And as I got older as a child and watched and listened to games, it was like Pat Summerall and John Madden. That was like the duo, combo. It was like, if you got a Pat Summerall and John Madden game call, like you had the game of the week. And then he had the famous Madden Cruiser. It was like, what? Like Madden got his own bus, man. It's like say Madden does not fly. It's like he don't fly. He travels his bus wherever he goes, right? So that was kind of another staple of John Madden. I think maybe the first video game that we played might have been, I don't know, early 90s or so. the John Madden, and I don't know, I think it was probably even on Sega, John Madden football. It's like, he made the game like super cool in terms of, I think he might have been one of the first to like draw on the screen, draw plays and circle guys, and his commentary was hilarious. But the way that he wove stories in and talked about players as a broadcaster, as a color analyst, was undoubtedly one of the best that I've seen, and had an influence on me in that regard in broadcasting. But for all players who had a chance to play in the league or had an attraction to video games, everybody was lined up for when that Madden was coming out, like mid-August somewhere. And especially when I got to the league, it's like, man, I want to see my Madden rating. I want to see my Madden rating. Monster, do you remember what, any of the best Madden ratings that you had in any year while you were playing?
I don't remember, but man, it's been a while since I played Madden. But I know back in my prime, I was somewhere around 85 to mid 90s. I don't recall the exact number, but I had a pretty good rating. I had a pretty good rating that I can remember. I mean, kids tell me. I mean, it's something that I wouldn't look up, but you hearing kids interact with the players, and you're like, man, your NFL Madden rating is this. I play with you all the time. I'm like, dang, they gave me
I
that.
like that.
Okay.
I like that.
I like that. Yeah. What I'm talking about, man. They recognizing me on Madden. Yeah, I like that.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm one of those guys, being a skill player, playing defensive back. I put myself as kick returner, punt returner. I played all the positions, man. And then,
Sure.
yeah, definitely Madden was, the Hall of Fame coach, Hall of Fame broadcaster. And I think that the NFL will find a maybe bigger way, another way to honor him, as much as they do the Lombardi Trophy with Vince Lombardi. His just impact to the game and to the history of the game, not just the people, but the game of football itself, is just unlike what we've seen over the past 30, 40 years. R.I.P. to John Madden, a legend, an icon, and certainly one of my favorite color analysts of all time. That does it for us here on Two Brothers in the Huddle. I hope you guys had a great New Year's celebration in 2022.
Let's jump into Antonio Brown real quick before we jump out.
Oh man.
Yeah, let's jump into it. Man, what is wrong with this dude here?
Thoughts on Antonio Brown, Master?
I think mentally there's something wrong. To what extent, I do not know. I don't know what triggered him to just go off on the deep end. I mean, it wasn't like anybody was arguing with him. The only thing that was said was it looks like there were people that were trying to calm him down from taking his jersey off, etc. But honestly, man, I think it's the mental side of Antonio Brown. I don't think he's been right ever since Burfict gave him that concussion a few years back in 2016. He took a bad shot that game, and I don't think mentally he's been right ever since. You look at it, look at the history of him. He left Pittsburgh on a bad note, right? So he signed a big old deal.
Patriots.
Signed a big old deal with the Raiders.
The Raiders.
And he was one day away from getting all his money and ends up spazzing out. All right. So now he sits on the sideline for half a season or whatever it was. And now he had an opportunity to go play with Tampa last year. And Tom fought for him. Tom wanted him on his team. He knew what kind of player he is, the talent. Kid got all the talent in the world, but if your mentals ain't right, ain't nothing else right. And I think this is more important than money. You know, this is this man's life. You know, he has a family that he has to look after. I don't know if he mentally he's out of it. He's tapped out. He's done. He don't want to play no more. I'm fine by that. You know, there's players that come and go, just like you and I. But more importantly, if he needs help, he needs to get it. You know, this is not something to be proud of the actions that he took in the game on Sunday. You know, but definitely hopefully this was a cry for help. You know, hey, look at me, I'm not right. You know, I need help. Hopefully he gets the help. Hopefully Tampa sticks by him, not in the sense of having him on the team as a player, but having his back as far as his mental issues.
Well, I think you and I both know Antonio Brown can go out there and play a full season and put up 1,400 yards. Can do it.
No question.
As a teammate, you know, it would be hard to know that he's there. He's dependable. I don't think he's dependable. I think that whatever is happening in his personal life is overshadowing his talent. And, you know, Tom Brady talked about it, you know, having compassion for him, finding the right people to get him help. Obviously, whatever his circle looks like to get him the help, the conversations, whatever that he needs to, you know, to wrap their arms around him, it needs to happen now. The track record, Pittsburgh, the Patriots, the Raiders, now the Bucs. I think he's done. We won't see Antonio Brown in the NFL anymore after this. I know the owners are probably, you know, collectively saying it's not going to happen. But as a teammate, I mean, like you can't depend on him, you know, to be there. There's a lot of stories happening around this, right? His health, his injury, his ankle. Well, he's been out for 4 weeks. So what were you doing for treatment? The money that he needed. He had $1 million bonus in incentives he was just getting ready to hit. Well, it wasn't like they were holding him out because he already had 5 targets and 3 catches. So, and it wasn't about the money. It's not about the money because the kid had guaranteed money in his hand in Las Vegas with the Raiders, and then gets into it with Mayock. It's not about money. So I don't think we should even put that on the table and say that the Bucs were freezing him out so he wouldn't get the $1 million. I don't think that was the case at all either, because if he was in the game, I know Tom Brady's going to throw him the ball. But there's something bigger brewing. And look, I'm not a doctor. I'm not here to diagnose, his mental state. But externally, I know and can easily see that he needs the people who are part of his circle to surround him with love, care, and whatever he needs to address this, because it's bigger than football. This is this man's life. And if he's not properly loved in this moment, then this would be the biggest downfall and fail of professional sports that we've ever seen in a player. He needs to get whatever treatment that is, whatever conversations need to be had, and whatever love that he needs to be embraced by his small circle of his most influential people in his life. This is, look, I've only been around this game for 20 years. I've never seen anything like this, ever. Mid-game.
Yeah, nobody
we saw Vontaze David for the Bills quit at halftime or retire at halftime, but he didn't do it in this manner. And I don't think Vontaze had a track record either with other franchises where, the conflicts were just, that public. Vontez's, decision at halftime was completely different than what we're seeing here. I mean, the Bucs are in the huddle getting ready to call an offensive play. This kid is jumping. AB is jumping in the end zone, headed to the locker room. Somebody need to love on him. Whoever those people are, you need to love on them because it's bigger than football. Well, hate to end on a note like that, but that wraps our time together, Big Monster.
Good talking to you, little bro.
As always, Two Brothers in the Huddle. We'll see you on the other side of Week 18 for a playoff edition as we wrap the regular season and head into the wild card playoffs. This is Two Brothers in the Huddle. We out. Peace.